Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. General Hospital spoilers for Thursday, February 27th, Carly suspects Brennan of trouble, and Sidwell shares his agenda. According to General Hospital teasers for Thursday, February 27th, Carly Spencer will suspect Jack Brennan of causing trouble, while Sonny Corinthos will receive a retaliatory warning. Jen Sidwell will also have an agenda, so let's speak about what's coming up for Port Charles. At Charlie's pub, Carly will pose a fun question to Brennan. Carly will wonder what kind of mischief Brennan has been causing, but she will ask with a smile, apparently unconcerned. However, Carly will be shocked by some news on Thursday's GH episode. Brennan may have to help Carly while remaining silent about what is really going on. Brennan informed Josslyn Jax, who had covertly joined the WSB, that she would be leaving tonight. Josslyn will most likely give a false excuse for leaving town, but Carly may suspect something and get unhappy as a result. Of fact, Carly may run into Sidwell because he will accompany Lucy Coe to the pub and hint at another motivation. Sidwell will discuss his agenda with Lucy while dining there, but he will keep certain other truths buried. There's a chance Sidwell will approach Carly and express his sorrow for Michael Corinthos' struggle. It could leave Carly anxious that Sidwell is the one who targeted Sonny's penthouse and what his next move would be. Martin Gray will inform Tracy Quartermaine at the Quartermaine home that the cease-and-desist debate needs to be revisited. Tracy wants to stop Drew from using the Quartermaine surname, but the family is against her because it could damage Scout Quartermaine, too. Martin will weigh in on the situation, so we'll see what he tells Tracy on Thursday's GH episode. Elsewhere, Trina Robinson will open up to Stella Henry, and she may disclose she kissed Kai Taylor. It should elicit some complex emotions now that Trina has finally moved on from Spencer Cassadine. Brooke Lynn Quartermaine recently told Lois Cerullo about Harrison Chase's plan to utilize Hamilton Finn as a sperm donor. Chase left looking depressed since Brooke Lynn's reply was negative. It may make Brooke Lynn ponder if they should utilize Chase's suggestion after all, but Lois does not want her to feel rushed into making any major decisions. You need to be sure this is what you want, Lois argues in Thursday's episode. Of course, there may be some discussion regarding whether Brooke Lynn should find the child she gave up for adoption. Lois may become concerned if it appears that Brooke Lynn will rely on Chase's assistance to locate her adult child. Chase will confide to Dante Falconeri that he needs to hit something and express his feelings. Dante may receive updates on Chase's sperm donor suggestion and how Brooke Lynn definitely did not like using Finn. Will Chase also reveal that Brooke Lynn put up a kid for adoption as a teenager, or will he keep it a secret? Dante's wheels may begin to spin depending on how much Chase spills. Laura Collins will tell Sonny at the hospital that retaliation is not an option. There may be concerns now that Jason Morgan has been blamed for Cyrus Renault's death and the cabin cleanup. Laura may advise Sonny not to exacerbate a bad situation if he discovers who set Jason up. Laura's warning, however, could be concerning Sidwell, Drew, and the entire Esplanade problem, which could have an impact on Sonny's territory. Laura will want to avoid starting another dangerous conflict in PC, but it might be too late. By Lucky Spencer's hospital bedside, Lulu Spencer will beg him not to terrify everyone again. Lucky had a close encounter, which will shake Lulu up. Lulu awoke to realize she has lost Luke Spencer, so she will convince Lucky that she cannot lose him either. On Thursday's broadcast, Lulu will address some suspicions. We know Lulu will start poking about in Brooke Lynn's plot, so she may overhear anything that puts her on edge. According to General Hospital spoilers, Lulu may eventually discover Giovanni Gio Palmieri is Brooke Lynn and Dante's child, so we'll have more predictions on where things go from here. General Hospital spoilers, did Josslyn shoot Cyrus, or did Brennan frame her? General Hospital spoilers indicate that Josslyn Jax believes she murdered Cyrus Renault. However, Jack Brennan confirmed that he was just outside. Did Josslyn actually shoot Cyrus, or might Brennan have devised a way to shoot him from the outside and trick Josslyn into thinking she hit him? Jack Brennan wants Josslyn Jax to join the WSB. Brennan repeatedly tells Josslyn that he wants her to join the WSB. Josslyn, on the other hand, is a college student with no prior experience in such a field. Josslyn intended to go to school to become a doctor and has never been interested in police enforcement. It nearly appears that Brennan simply exploited Josslyn to get rid of Cyrus. Brennan then stole Josslyn's clothes, phone, and jewelry, telling her not to tell anyone what she had done. Josslyn is not even meant to inform her mother, Carly Spencer. However, Josslyn is terrified about what happened in the cabin. Josslyn wanted to talk to Jason, but he was called away. Jason Morgan gets brought in for Cyrus Renault's murder. Anna immediately summoned Jason to address Cyrus' disappearance. However, Jason has no idea where Cyrus' hideout is, or anything else. Still, 2 hairs allegedly matching Jason were discovered, therefore he is automatically to blame. Apparently, the PCPD does not aware Jason and Drew are identical twins. Drew's DNA remains unchanged even when he gets a new look. Obviously, someone is attempting to frame either Jason or Drew. Who exactly are they going to get rid of? Could Jens Sidwell be involved since he and Drew want Sonny Corinthos peers? Is Drew attempting to complete this on his own? Even Harrison Chase defended Jason since he knows he is not stupid. Who is setting him up? Could this be leverage for Jack Brennan? Brennan was adamant that Josslyn would return to see him, and it appears that she will. Josslyn isn't about to let Jason face the consequences of a crime she committed. Jack knows Josslyn will come back and ask him to clear Jason's name, and he can simply exploit this to persuade her to do exactly what he wants. Did Jack frame Josslyn just to accuse Jason? What will Carly say when she discovers what her new lover has been up to? Jack may find himself confronting Carly's anger, which he may not like. Will Josslyn and Jason be set free in the end? Will Carly recognize what Brennan is doing and put an end to it? General Hospital spoilers for the week of March 3rd, Sonny's collision course, Nina's dangerous game, and Portia's horror. General Hospital spoilers for the week of March 3rd to 7th show that Sonny Corinthos will be on a collision course as Nina Reeves plays a risky game. Portia Robinson will also confront some terror, so let's speak about what to expect at Port Charles. For starters, Christina Corinthos Davis' rage toward Ava Jerome should intensify. The program has been warning Ava about the danger that may be looming as a result. Meanwhile, Isaiah Gannon will have legitimate concerns about Jordan Ashford and her Jen Sidwell scheme. Jordan could become too involved and end up in more trouble than she bargained for. Of course, we have to talk about Sonny because he is on a collision path with Sidwell that can only result in an explosive feud. Sidwell has already been making steps against Sonny, which could involve the penthouse explosion that injured Michael Corinthos. There's also the issue of Sidwell becoming Drew Quartermain's ally and attempting to threaten Sonny's region via the Esplanade project. Natalia Ramirez is getting closer to Sonny, which will eventually lead to further trouble because Sidwell is her despised ex-husband. As this conflict escalates, Sonny and Sidwell may square off in a heated confrontation. Meanwhile, Lois Cerullo may feel as if the walls are closing in on the Giovanni Gio Palmieri secret she's kept for so long. Brooklyn Quartermain's desire to reconnect with her long-lost child may present Lois with some unexpected hurdles in the cover-up department. Lulu Spencer will also conduct some spying, which could cause complications as the GH storyline progresses. Over with Nina, she'll play a deadly game with Drew and the safe combination she took. Nina is plainly up to no good, but if she isn't careful, her scheme could go horribly wrong. If Nina actually turns Willow Corinthos against Drew, he may opt to end her friendship with Willow as well. Drew may decide he has nothing to lose and reveal that he has been sleeping with Nina. That threat will undoubtedly remain in Nina's thoughts, but our predictions suggest she may ignore it as she attempts to set Drew up for a fall. Curtis Ashford and Stella Henry will also make big attempts against Drew, while Portia will be dealing with her own troubles. That's because Brad Cooper offered Selena Wu leverage over Portia in exchange for debt forgiveness. When Portia finds Brad has deceived her and given Selena complete control, she will be appalled and outraged. Finally, Jack Brennan will continue to take risks with all of the secrets he's keeping. Will Carly Spencer unearth any information about Brennan's Jason Morgan frame-up and the WSB deal with Josslyn Jax? According to General Hospital spoilers, the week of March 3rd to 7th will be jam-packed with surprises and heated confrontations, so we'll keep you updated on everything that happens. Nina gets Drew's safe combination, and Brad gives Selena blackmail material. Nina Reeves acquired Drew Quartermain's safe combination, while Brad Cooper provided Selena Wu with blackmail material. After painting with Trina Robinson at the communal art exhibit, Kai Taylor revealed he had no idea what his future would be like without football. Trina felt Kai had an eye for art, but he confessed that he only became interested in it because of her. Alexis Davis provided Drew with updates on Cyrus Renault's involvement in the murder of Sam McCall. Alexis and Drew felt that it was best not to notify Scout Quartermain about any of this just now. Maxie Jones was also at Drew's residence for decorating purposes and handed him a folder containing the combination to the freshly installed safe. When Willow Corinthos arrived at the door, Drew noticed Nina had joined them. In a private moment with Drew, Nina complained about him taking advantage of Willow, but he believed she could make her own decisions. Drew also predicted that he would move Willow in and eventually marry her. If Nina attempted to interfere with Drew's plans, she risked losing Willow. Nina felt Drew wanted to have a baby with Willow as well, and she worried if Jason Morgan's pregnancy with Sasha Gilmore Corbin would push him to keep up. Drew thought Nina was being foolish, and that her actual problem was jealousy of her daughter. After Drew and Willow left, Nina remained with Maxie and pushed for the combination to Drew's safe. Maxie thought it was a poor idea, but she eventually directed Nina to the folder that contained it. Selena arrived at GH and handed Brad a resignation letter to deliver to the hospital. Brad was on the responsibility for Cody Bell's debt, so he'd have to return to work for Selena and pay it. Brad protested, knowing that it would jeopardize his plan to reclaim Lucas Jones, but Selena was unconcerned. When Portia Robinson discovered Selena's presence, she approached her and inquired about any medical issues. Selena insisted there wasn't, so Portia told her to leave. Later, Brad continued his meeting with Selena somewhere, wondering whether there was another way to repay his debt. When Brad presented evidence that Portia interfered with test results at GH, Selena took the paperwork and considered them, thanks to this leverage. Back in the hospital, Alexis told Lucas that Cyrus was responsible for Sam's death. Lucas admitted that he had known for a long time, but he couldn't present the hypothesis to Alexis without evidence. Alexis wasn't delighted to be left out of the loop, but she understood Lucas' perspective. Alexis also questioned whether she was the reason Lucas did not attend Sam's funeral, but Lucas answered that Danny Morgan did not want him there. After Alexis promised to speak with Danny, Lucas assured her that everything was okay now. At the PCPD, Jason Morgan argued that he could establish he was never at Cyrus Renault's cabin because he had an alibi. ADA Turner then informed Anna Devane that she was being removed from the case because she could not be objective when it came to Jason. ADA Turner also announced that Jason would be charged based on the DNA evidence found at the cabin, prompting a worried Josslyn Jacks to press Anna to take action because Jason was innocent. Anna became concerned as she questioned how Josslyn could be so sure. Carly was grateful for the interruption in Jack Brennan's office last night because she would have asked him to spend the night if it hadn't happened. Brennan admitted that if Carly had made him an offer, he would have accepted it. Carly recognized she was uneasy because she had no idea what this was, so Brennan believed she was looking for a label. After Carly admitted she needed clarity, she recommended they terminate things immediately if Brennan was simply having a fling. Although Brennan was more at ease in the mystery than Carly, he stated he could be patient and would respond anytime she called. Josslyn walked up asking to speak with Brennan, so Colette Gerard called him. Brennan got rid of Carly by informing her that Jason was in police custody. Once Carly had left, Josslyn joined Brennan and complained about him setting Jason up. Brennan stated that Jason would never be convicted without a body, claiming that he had only given the PCPD another suspect to focus on. Brennan promised Josslyn that Jason would not go to prison, so she looked more inclined to let things play out. Brennan eventually suggested a mission that he believed Josslyn would be good at, but she didn't believe she was cut out to be a WSB agent. Brennan stood by his promise to Josslyn to join the WSB, so he asked her to serve, protect, and contribute to the greater good. Carly pressed Anna for the most recent information on Jason at the PCPD right before Drew was summoned to support Jason's alibi. Willow accompanied Drew, which made Carly unhappy. ADA Turner described Cyrus' disappearance and stated that they had substantial reason to suspect foul conduct. Because Jason claimed to be with Drew at the time of the alleged incident, ADA Turner inquired whether he could corroborate Jason's testimony. According to General Hospital spoilers, Drew will make a major decision that will have an impact on Jason's legal issue, so stay tuned. GH spoilers, Lois worries about Chase's new mission, tracking down Brooke Lynn's grown baby? According to General Hospital spoilers and rumors, Lois Chirulo will panic when she learns about Harrison Chase's new mission. She was already nervous when Brooke Lynn Chase said she had informed Chase everything about her teenage pregnancy except who the father was. Lois had just told Martin Gray that no one could know about the private adoption and that Gio Palmieri is Brooke Lynn's adult kid. She didn't tell his mother, Olivia Quartermaine, that Dante Falconeri was the father. Even Sonny Corinthos is unaware that Gio is his grandson, despite paying for his education, which is a terrible irony given that he was also unaware that Dante was his son. He didn't find out from Olivia until he shot Dante, as a cop was chasing him, and she witnessed the shooting and they were around the same age as Brooke Lynn when she had Gio. Lois has many reasons to keep Joe's identity hidden, one of which is because she does not want him to believe his entire existence has been a lie. Chase tells Brooke Lynn he'll be happy to look into what happened to her baby. Chase was quite compassionate when Brooke Lynn informed him about her teenage pregnancy and the fact that she didn't know whether the baby was a boy or a girl. That was at her and Lois' request, as she knew the baby was being placed for adoption and did not want to become attached. Of course, the investigation could end in misery if the child is no longer alive. Anything can happen, so it's a difficult decision. Brooke Lynn, as well as Chase, must consider this and prepare herself for whatever Chase discovers, assuming he can find anything at all. It's not easy to locate adoption records, and Brooke Lynn believes the baby was placed with an adoption agency rather than with relatives. Chase and Brooke Lynn decide to investigate what happened to Brooke Lynn's baby. When Brooke Lynn and Chase discuss the benefits and cons of such an undertaking, she decides she wants to know. It doesn't mean she'll try to form a relationship, but she'll at least find out what happened. And, as Chase points out, the child could be seeking for her. The child would now be 21 years old, of legal age, and capable of conducting his or her own search for birth parents. They could also conduct a DNA matching search in databases, but they choose to focus on the adoption agency search first. Brooke Lynn only needs to find out which agency was employed, and they will go from there. Brooke Lynn tells Lois about Chase's new mission, and Lois panics. Lois panics when Brooke Lynn wants the information about the discreet adoption she set up and kept within the family. What was she going to do, have Sonny falsify a lot of identifying documents when the kid was his grandson? Lois has a tough time concealing her nervousness, and Brooke Lynn wants to know what's wrong, so she quickly creates an excuse that she doesn't know. She can't recall the name of the hospital social worker who put it up, and she has no papers. She signed something and turned the baby over to a nurse, and that's all she has. Brooke Lynn claims Chase can cross-reference the date of birth with the hospital name. Jason shocked, BLQ stunned, Drew's downfall, and Joss trapped. Prepare for unexpected twists, tragic setbacks, astonished reactions, and dangerous circumstances in the next General Hospital. Josslyn Jax will make her decision and present it to Jack Brennan. Stella Henry has a plan to bring down Drew Kane Quartermaine. Meanwhile, Harrison Chase makes a proposition to Brooke Lynn Quartermaine. Fans of Josslyn Jax's decision should anticipate her to continue her talk with Brennan. Josslyn can't believe she has to make such a hard choice. Josslyn wants a guarantee now that Jason Morgan has been framed. Josslyn will only accept Brennan's offer to join the WSB if he can promise that Jason will not go to prison. Brennan appears to be incapable of making any guarantees. In a preview clip, Joss explains that if she doesn't cooperate, she will go to prison. Jason Morgan's risky alibi. The preview footage also depicts what happens when Jason's alibi arrives at the police station. Jason was with Drew during the suspected murder. Jason informed Anna Devane that he could establish that he was not at Cyrus' cabin at the time of his supposed death. That's where Drew comes in, and of course he had to bring Willow Tate Corinthos with him. Drew rejected Jason's offer of a truce and essentially attacked the entire family. So Drew could easily lie and say he didn't see Jason that night. General Hospital teasers for tomorrow suggest that Carly Spencer asks Willow. That sounds like Drew is lying and claiming he wasn't with Jason. That could ruin Jason's only hope of getting out of this mess. Currently, the easiest way to contact Drew is through Willow. So Carly is likely to implore Willow to reason with Drew. In the next episode, Trina Robinson shares a passionate moment with Kai Taylor. Chase tells Brooklyn that he has an idea on how they can have their own baby. However, what BLQ hears will throw her off guard. Meanwhile, Tracy Quartermaine makes a play on Drew. Stella informs Curtis Ashford that she may have discovered a strategy to take down Drew. Carly requests that they find Cyrus Renault's killer so she can thank them. Sasha Gilmore Corbin had never envisioned herself in this situation, carrying Michael Corinthos' child while navigating the delicate web of concealment they had created around its existence. Everything was properly arranged. Michael had agreed to let her raise the baby on her own, and in exchange, she had promised to leave his name off the birth certificate. It was meant to be straightforward. Clean. But nothing ever remained simple in Port Charles. With Michael clinging to live following a near-fatal accident, the weight of that decision hit her like never before. His little moment of clarity, and the urgent desperation in his voice as he shouted out for her, had upset her more than she cared to acknowledge. Was he trying to inform her that he had changed his mind? Was he regretting his decision to remain uninvolved? The answers escaped her, and with Michael being taken to Germany for long-term treatment, she had no way of knowing for certain. A life-changing agreement on the verge of collapse. Sasha was determined to keep Michael out of it from the moment she found out she was pregnant. She had excellent reasons. She did not want her child to grow up in the hazardous environment of the Corinthos and Quartermaine families. The power conflicts, mob ties, and constant surveillance weren't the life she wanted for her baby. Michael, still hurting from his failing marriage to Willow, eventually conceded. As long as Sasha consented to stay in Port Charles, he would allow her to raise the child independently, free of the impact of his great name. At the moment, it felt like the proper decision. But everything changed when Michael almost died. Michael's sudden absence, what now? As the jet transporting Michael to Germany vanished over the horizon, Sasha was confronted with a horrible reality. What if he never returned? The deal they had reached had always been based on the assumption that Michael would be present, watching from the sidelines, ensuring that things never got too out of hand. With him perhaps gone for the rest of her pregnancy, or worse, forever, Sasha found herself in a precarious situation. Will she truly be able to do this on her own? And if Michael had been trying to tell her anything before being hauled away, did she really have the right to keep it from his family? The divorce that cannot move forward. Michael's absence not only made things more difficult for Sasha, but it also put his divorce on hold. If he had died, Sasha might have felt obligated to reveal the truth about the baby's paternity either out of sadness or a sense of obligation. But with him still alive, though physically and emotionally unavailable, everything was left in an uncomfortable condition of suspension. His marriage to Willow, which had already crumbled beneath the weight of secrets and betrayals, was now in limbo. The longer he was gone, the more the proceedings would be delayed. That meant Sasha couldn't afford to disclose any information. If it became known that Michael had fathered her child, it could be used against him when the divorce proceedings resumed. Any claims of infidelity against him could jeopardize his position in the custody battle for Wiley and Amelia. Despite all, Sasha did not want to be responsible for the deaths of his other children. For the time being, she had only one option: silence. Gossip and second-guessing. Despite her best efforts to remain calm, the whispers had already started. People in Port Charles were speaking. Whispers about Michael's accident. Speculation concerning Sasha's pregnancy. The unavoidable question of who the father was. Sasha had never wanted Michael involved, and she had convinced herself that he had the same feelings. But the expression in his eyes when he grabbed for her, and the desperation in his voice as he yelled her name, tormented her. What if he'd changed his mind? More dangerously, what if she did? For months, she had been adamant about keeping Michael out of it, but now doubt was seeping in. The prospect of parenting this child wholly alone was more frightening than it had ever been. Would she be able to continue lying even if it no longer felt right? Pressure to come clean. Sasha was locked in an awful predicament. If she informed Michael's family the truth, she'd be betraying her vow to him. Worse, she could be setting off a chain reaction of unanticipated repercussions. The Quartermaines would demand participation. Sonny would surely interject himself. Carly would never forgive her for holding the secret for so long. What if Willow found out? It may jeopardize the delicate peace that still existed between them. But if she didn't say anything, she was gambling that Michael would return before the baby was delivered, healthy enough to affirm his own wishes. Could she afford to wait so long? The clock is ticking. Michael's departure for Germany had caused turmoil. The carefully crafted plan he and Sasha devised was now disintegrating under the weight of uncertainty. Will she stand by the decision they made? Or would she finally admit that things, and herself, had changed? Whatever she chose, the truth eventually surfaced in Port Charles. And once it happened, there was no going back. General Hospital spoilers, Carly discovers Josslyn killed Cyrus, forced to choose between Jason and daughter. According to General Hospital teasers, WSB agent Jack Brennan will most likely frame Jason Morgan for Cyrus Renault's murder. This is to shield the genuine perpetrator, Josslyn Jax, who killed Cyrus in self-defense. Nevertheless, Brennan is watching Joss for the WSB and must keep her safe. Josslyn will be suffering with this and will want to tell someone, even though Brennan has expressly stated that she cannot tell anyone. Will Josslyn confide in her mother, Carly Spencer, because she really needs to unburden herself? Carly Spencer discovers the truth. Josslyn will either reveal the truth about her role in Cyrus killing to Carly, or she will overhear Josslyn and Brennan discussing it. Either situation is feasible, and Carly will be surprised to learn that her daughter killed Cyrus. Carly will be outraged at Brennan for concealing the truth from her, which could endanger their budding connection. Meanwhile, Jason has been wrongly accused of the crime and is currently facing or will soon face charges. Josslyn had been battling for a time now. Carly may try to persuade Josslyn to open up to her, but it will be difficult. If Carly ultimately convinces Josslyn to accept the truth, what will she do next? Carly Spencer faces an impossible decision. With Jason set to be convicted of the murder, or potentially already guilty. Carly must choose between protecting her daughter and sparing her best friend. This decision will eventually break Carly apart, as she and Jason have had each other's backs since before Josslyn was even alive. Carly will be faced with a hard decision, and it will be agonizing to see her battle with it. Josslyn Jax makes the decision for Carly Spencer. Ultimately, Carly, as much as she adores her closest friend, will choose her daughter above Jason. She would not want her daughter to be convicted of murder. Jason will also insist on being punished for the crime in order to protect Josslyn. He informs Carly that he needs to watch out for his son, Danny Morgan. However, Josslyn is still haunted by guilt over Jason's conviction for a crime she committed, and she confesses at the last minute to free Jason. Will Josslyn be found guilty of the crime, or will it be revealed that she killed Cyrus in self-defense? What do you think? What are your thoughts? Do you believe Carly will uncover the truth about Cyrus' death? What will Carly do once she finds out? Do you think Carly will have to choose between Jason and her daughter? GH spoilers for Thursday, February 27th, Hello Trouble, Making Sure, and Opening Up. General Hospital spoilers and updates for Thursday, February 27th include Hello Trouble, Making Sure, and Opening Up. Carly Spencer welcomes difficulty, Lois Cerullo confirms, and Harrison Chase opens out. Hello, Trouble. Carly meets Jack Brennan at Bobby's and asks him a loaded question. What kind of trouble have you been stirring up? Oh, if only she knew, she'd be greeting her potential boyfriend as Trouble. Little does she know Brennan is framing Jason Morgan and using her daughter Josslyn Jax in the process. Brennan persuaded Josslyn to join the WSB, but it was undeniably manipulative. He didn't say it outright, but she's clearly concerned about the secrecy, as well as Jason's punishment for her conduct. Meanwhile, Jens Sidwell has invited Lucy Coe somewhere, and he reveals that he has a reason for doing so. But is the motive just a cover, or does he have ulterior motives? No one should trust Sidwell, let alone Lucy, because there's a significant chance he's exploiting her while romancing her. There appears to be a lot of that going around Port Charles these days, and there will undoubtedly be more. Revisiting plans at the Quartermaine estate, Martin Gray informs Tracy Quartermaine that it is time to reconsider the cease and desist talk. It appears that he is discussing the motion brought against Drew Quartermaine to stop using the family name, Quartermaine, which Tracy had previously notified the family of. Everyone argued with her for Emily's Scout Quartermain's sake. Her life had been turbulent enough, but Tracy was adamant. Martin appears to have been unable to maintain the halt and desist injunction for whatever reason. What could have happened? Was Drew able to stop it because of his congressional status? Meanwhile, at Brooklyn Chase and Chase's quarters, Lois wants to ensure that Brooklyn is confident. Brooklyn was offended for some reason when Chase said that his brother Hamilton Finn potentially be a sperm donor for them. Perhaps it's because Finn and Chase had some bad blood in the past, but it was settled a long time ago. Violet Finn is perfect, therefore it does not appear that Brooklyn is concerned about genetics. Lois advises Brooklyn to be certain that this is what she wants. Chase is opening up to Dante Falconeri, who is counseling him about his position. They appear to be chatting in Volanino's gym, especially since Chase tells Dante that all he needs to do is smash something. It would be preferable if he hit a punching bag in a gym rather than a random individual with his fists. That's especially more so given that he's a cop, but he's clearly frustrated that Brooklyn didn't immediately agree to his sperm donor suggestion. Chase's predicament is tragic and disheartening, despite the fact that he appears to have accepted his sterility. Dante should be able to provide him sound advice and, at the very least, be available for him to talk to. Sonny Corinthos receives advice and a warning from Laura Collins, who informs him there is no room for retaliation. Nobody could blame Sonny for wanting to avenge the monsters who blasted his penthouse and then attempted to mercy kill his son. Cyrus Renault is missing, and no one has suspected Sidwell, but no one should trust him. However, retribution will not assist Sonny, and Laura's point is that violence is never an answer. Lucky Spencer is healing at GH, but he's still not completely recovered from Cyrus stabbing with a Digitalis-filled syringe. Lulu Spencer is upset and obviously concerned about what happened to her brother. She sits beside his bed in his hospital room, asking with Lucky not to lose him too. Her daughter is still gone, although knowing that it was Charlotte Cassadine's decision to be with her father, Valentine Cassadine. However, the Spencer family lost their aunt, Bobby Spencer, patriarch Luke Spencer, and nephew, Spencer Cassadine, while Lulu was in her coma. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.